Alright guys, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to continue this series part 3 about the Crush Mini. I'm really satisfied with this. So unfortunately I have a loose wire in here, which I'm going to basically fix tomorrow. It's kind of a weird story. I'm like an electrical engineer by education, and then I went into data science and AI. But it's been a while since I left electrical engineering, but I ordered like a soldering, iron to where, I have to basically solder a loose wire in here. But I just thought that was kind of funny, is that I haven't done this kind of stuff in a long time since I left EE. I went to San Jose State. So anyway, so part 3 of this, I think I'm very sort of happy with this. So one thing I must warn you, if you have your headphones on, is that I don't know how loud this is going to be. And last time I did this, I had to yank the video because I put the amp too close to the phone, and then it was like I'm talking like this, then it would be like way too loud. So hopefully this is not too loud. So here comes the test right here. Right? So hopefully that's not too loud. So I'm sitting about 4 feet, 5 feet away from the mic. So unfortunately, this is the sound that's going to be from where it's just ambient air. I can't really speak louder than this, so you'll just have to turn it up on your end. Hopefully you're listening through, cool speakers and not just through a phone. So anyway, I warned you about the sound in case it's loud. So I really like the sound because this is like the sort of sound that you've been sort of wanting by turning up the amp. You know what I mean? This is the kind of sound where you don't really get unless you like turn up like a tube amp to like 6, and then with a half stack, and then it's so freaking loud that you can never get that sound. Now Tony Iommi got his sound basically by volume and then a treble boost on the front, right? He actually has his gain at 6, right? And most of the there's more gain from the treble boost. So he gets the sound that way, and also the old-fashioned way, which is basically what a lot of people are saying, is just cranking it up, because back then they used to just, play like really loud, cranked up, where today, I'll get to that later. It's like, the scenario is kind of a lot different now, I think, if you actually play live, in like a big band and stuff like that. But anyway, this is the sound. I just can't get over this because it sounds so good, just from a 3-inch speaker. Whatever that is, I think it's a 3-inch speaker. And like I said, a lot of people are saying that it's not, it kind of sucks, but it's actually, all it is you're just gonna have to understand how to work it, that's all. I'm not connecting to anything else. This is just a 3-inch speaker, and it sounds great. It doesn't sound boxy. You could actually record with this. So I am gonna record a song, like I said, not even connected to a cabinet, just like this. Right? It sounds big. It doesn't sound boxy. As long as you know how to basically record it, right? Kind of Iommi-esque kind of, solos. But anyway, I think I'll play. I don't think I'm going to play anything original because it's like I don't like to, a riff like that, I think. Because I want to save those for the song I'm going to release. But anyway, it just sounds great. This is just like a review. Probably mostly talking. I might play a couple of Sabbath riffs. I don't know. But, so maybe... So it's got a little bit of the in there, right? So... Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, it has all this kind of that overdubs and kind of, effects. So maybe it's not good for that kind of sound, but it's great for this kind of sound to where it's like... Right, that kind of sludgy sound, I gotta be careful. That stupid wire. That sludgy sound is great for that, I didn't tune the guitar before I started, so sorry. I mean, why is that big of a deal? I have people saying, oh, dude, tune your guitar. I'm like, dude, who cares? I mean, as long as it's not atrocious. That's about okay. That's all right for this video. Anyway, so it's great for that sludgy sound, and I think that it's just maybe more like you know. And like I said, I'm kind of dumbfounded as an electrical engineer that they were able to basically capture that tube sound by solid state, which means in this case just transistors, that they're able to kind of approximate that sound pretty good. And like I said, for practical purposes, this sounds pretty good. To get this kind of sound from a tube amp, man, you would have to crank that thing up to like 7 or something, So, and then it's just not practical. Here, I can just noodle with this on the coffee table, not that I do, but this is the music room. So I'm in here most of the time. This is the music room and then also the study room. So most of the stuff is in here. So anyway, maybe let me play one more Sabbath. So if you saw the last video I posted, it's from the band, the Sabbath band, the cover band, and we played the song. So that band is pretty much over now. I'm out of that band. So I think now I can just focus on just, my own stuff. I got this drum set here. I've been practicing a little bit like every other day. I'm going to start recording my own songs. I have a 112 right here. If you go through that, it's a completely different sound. And you're basically not getting that kind of sound. Right? You're not getting that kind of... Right? So it sounds kind of good. I mean, I'm gonna get it to sound as good as possible, I think, on the... record. I don't want to call it a demo, but it's going to be pretty good. So anyway, guys, that's what I'm working on, and I guess I'll just play more Sabbath stuff. So this band that I'm trying to, this piece of music that I'm trying to do by myself, it's going to be kind of that sludgy Sabbath oriented, that kind of stuff, maybe like with the clean kind of singing, obviously, much like probably like Ozzy. I started working out a song and it kind of came out pretty good. So, I've already got the the words and everything else and the melody and everything. So what's cool? I think I'll just play this. So I don't know if I'm going to play this right. So if I don't play it right, don't crucify me. But there's a song that Sabbath did on the California Jams, 1974. Sometimes I'm Happy, which I was talking about in 1974. They played that, and then they never released the song, but they played it live as like a jam. So I'm gonna try to play it. It's kind of a weird song, so I hope if I fuck it up, I'm sorry, but it's just this riff. Let's kind of discover it together. It's just those two riffs over and over again. I don't know, I feel good. I'm in a good position now, and I think that I'm going to basically finish recording that song. I actually have a demo of that song already, the original song I'm recording, which is kind of like, I don't want to say doom, because doom has like a different connotation where people are just Cookie Monster and that kind of stuff. So kind of like Sabbath, kind of like Thing, kind of like... I guess kind of doomy, stoner rock, that kind of stuff, but with like an Aussie type clean singer, And I think I'll leave you with this. why are there so many bands that rip off Black Sabbath? That's my kind of my fear here, is that, man, do I want to be 50,001? Because there's so many bands that rip off Black Sabbath, right? Black Sabbath and Tony Iommi's guitar playing style, you feel sorry for Tony Iommi because it's literally the most ripped off kind of sound, you know. And I think that there's literally 50 million bands out there that sound like Sabbath. I don't want to be 50 million and one. But most of those bands don't have like a good singer. So I think that's probably what's going to differentiate my band, is that, okay, this is all just coming from my head. You know, I play the drums, I play the guitar, I play the bass, and then I, you know, have the song like I want it, you know. And, but that's the thing. It's that, why this is happening is because Sabbath doesn't sound dated, right? This sounds fresh today as it were like 50 years ago. It's that old loose wire again. Right, that sounds as fresh today as it did, you know, 50 years ago, I suppose. Whereas like something like Iron Maiden, right? If I try to form a band just like Iron Maiden today, you know, original band, right? In that style, but with original music, immediately it would sound dated, right? Dated means that it sounds like it should have came out in 1983 or something, right? If I go Metallica, if I go thrash, someone's going to say, oh wait, you know, this sounds like 1986, right? I remember I told you about the story to where it's like, I had an original band, we had a, EP or something like that, 6 songs, we put it out. Somebody reviewed us, this is back in the Bay Area, somebody reviewed us and said, you know, this band sounds circa 1988, and I made the joke that I wanted to go punch his face, you know, punch him out, punch him in the face or something like that. You know, of course I'm joking, you know, but that's the thing, is that, and that's the worst thing when a critic comes out and says, oh wait, you sound like, you know, you should have came out in 1988 or something, or it just sounds dated. So thrash is going to sound dated because there's so much music that came after it that's heavier. Death metal is going to sound dated, right? If you have a death metal band, someone's going to say, oh wait, dude, that sounds totally like 1993 or something like that, right? If you black metal, so all these genres sort of come into existence and they become dated, right? So it's like, how do you as an artist not try to sound like, you know, 50 years ago, right? So you have to sort of go back to the basics. So Sabbath, for some reason, it doesn't sound dated, right? It doesn't sound dated. So, and I think that almost, you know, the reason for that is because it's a lot, I don't want to say simpler, but like it's not tagged with so much, you know, nuances that's particular, right? If you sort of overdo it, right? Like Iron Maiden, right? It's very specific, it's very thing. So that means it's good, it's great. Wow, you know, how did they do this? Or Iron Maiden's great. I'm a big Iron Maiden fan. Iron Maiden literally has $5,000 of my money from growing up, from, you know, buying every picture disc there is, every combination there is. They have like the best sort of, I think, marketing, because they'll put out like, you know, or in the first 8 albums, they'll have like, you know, 3 singles, 8 different formats, right? It's the cut picture disc, then it's the single, then this song is not on there, the live version is on this, the CD version has something else on there that's not on here. So they really want you to buy 8 versions, and, you know, anytime an album comes out, you end up spending like $300, not just for the album, but for the 3 singles and the 3 versions of those singles that are all different, the picture disc, the clear vinyl, the this, that, you know. So I have like $5,000 worth of Maiden stuff. So, you know, I'm a big Maiden fan. I don't think I've invested that much money in any other band. But having said that, just to give you my Iron Maiden cred, having said that, right, it sounds very dated to like early 1980s new wave of British heavy metal, right? It sounds dated right there, especially the galloping and things like that, right? So if you came out like that, people are going to say that. So my point here is that Sabbath doesn't sound dated. Hence, I think there's still some stuff here to mine. You know what I mean? By mining, you know what I'm talking about. You know, I'm just saying that, you know, there's still probably some areas that are unexplored that I could kind of go in there and be like, someone's going to be like, oh wow, you know, what he's doing is cool. You know, it doesn't sound like the 50,000 other Sabbath ripoff bands that are out there, whom I don't listen to, by the way. Why listen to the copy when you can listen to the original? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I don't want to be influenced by those bands. I want to be influenced by like Master of Reality, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, Volume 4. You know, that's that kind of thing. So anyway, I got a lot of song ideas. The first song, I think is going to be pretty cool. You know, nothing too complicated, just like Sabbath stuff. But you know, the